In this chapter, let's learn how to test exceptions. I'll copy the previous test just to make it easier for us. We want to test exceptions, so I have to create an exception. So how do I create an exception? Is what I'll do is the numbers, instead of passing in a real array, I'll make it null and do arrays.sort numbers. I'll not worry about this right now. What would happen is when I pass a null array to arrays.sort, what would happen? Do you want to guess? Run as JUnit test. What would happen is it throws a null pointer exception. So the arrays.sort, when you call it, it throws a null pointer exception. So this is a proper scenario. This is one of the requirements for arrays.sort. The arrays.sort, when I send a null array to it, it should throw a null pointer exception. So that's a proper scenario. That's a valid scenario. This is not really an error condition in here. So this is not a real code going wrong. This is really code being right, and I would want to test for this exception. So how do I say in this particular thing that the exception is expected? Typically, people do something of this kind. So you can put a try catch. So I can put a try catch and catch the exception. Let's be as specific as we can. We are getting a null pointer exception. You don't need to do anything in here because the thing is a success. So this test would succeed. Succeeds. Because now I'm expecting a null pointer exception, so the code comes in here and I'm not doing anything in here. In a JUnit test, if a test does not throw an exception or it comes out in a proper way, then it's success. Absence of failure in JUnit is a success, so this would succeed. But actually a better way to do this would have been to use a specific annotation which JUnit provides. In JUnit, I can say at expected is equal to the exception which we add, null pointer exception dot class. This is the way I would declare that I'm expecting a null pointer exception. So what would happen? So this test is expecting a null pointer exception to happen. So when the null pointer exception is thrown, this would be fine. I mean, this would work properly. But let's just say I'm passing in an empty array. An empty array, when you sort, does not throw an exception. So what would happen? The red bar, because now I'm expecting a null pointer exception, but this is not throwing an exception. So the good thing is testing an exception. I mean, when I'm testing for an exception, I'm really expecting an exception to happen. So if an exception does not happen, it's a failure. So that's what is happening in here. I'm expecting an exception, but there's no exception thrown. So that basically means a failure. So we have learned how to test exceptions in here. We expected a null pointer exception, and we saw that when a null pointer exception was thrown, this test succeeded, and when null pointer exception was not thrown, this test failed. And in a normal test where I don't expect an exception, and if there's an exception thrown, then that test would anyway fail. It would say unexpected exception, and it would come up with the exception trace. So that's about handling exceptions in JUnit tests. Good luck with that. Thanks for joining more than 1 million students who are learning from us. In 28 minutes, we defined a learning roadmap for Java and front-end developers. We created more than 25 courses covering all the topics that you are seeing on the screen. There are 4 things you can do to make best use of these courses. Number 1 is Udemy. You'll find a link in the description of the video to our Udemy profile. We are teaching a lot of courses on Udemy and most of them are free. Number 2, visit our website www.in28minutes.com. You'd find tons of information including how you can register for our trainings and the link to Udemy and our GitHub code as well. Number 3, visit our GitHub repository. With more than 20 repositories covering varied examples, it's a comprehensive source of information and code. Last but not the least, you'll find a set of discount codes for all our Udemy courses in the description as well. Feel free to use them. Good luck from the team here at In 28 Minutes, your destination for high quality step-by-step courses.